Okay, so we've got the script here kind of detecting when we run in front of it. Let me close that. That one, when we run in front of the treasure chest. And we've got this popping up, and we've got a flag to detect when they're doing it, and we've got even an event for when they do it. But let's add to the player the power-up of getting the treasure. So I've already got a, let's see, HUD canvas layer right here. Already got this guy, and I've got some hearts in there currently. So if we, let's see, where am I? I don't see these guys. That's going to make it hard to work with. Oh, that's why. They're hidden. It's interesting. So, yeah, so I've got this HUD already set up. Not sure why that was hidden. There's probably a good reason for it. Alright, well, let's go ahead and add this. So, got the hearts right there, and so, let's see. We have already talked about we're going to have a jetpack and an active, like a torch, and some other things. So I was thinking about having like a box around the center that was your active, currently selected active item. But the jetpack will probably need some sort of like fuel. And let's see. No, we can do the gold coin could be, well, it's more like an inventory thing. So maybe, well, for now let's just put it over here on the right, and then we'll deal with that later. We'll just stack up your collectibles on the right. And that'll be kind of like your inventory. So I've got an H-box container here. So let's add a new one and make it a V-box container so that they'll stack up this way. Let's drag that over here on the right. And let's see. So inside of it, so this one I just did hearts as images. Let's see, what are these? Yeah, they're just texture rects. I think pretty much the same thing for this guy. So we'll have a texture rect, and to that we'll assign a gold coin to represent the treasure. And we'll scale that down just a little bit. So 0.6 maybe? 0.6. Yeah, so that makes it a little bit more the same size of these hearts. Actually 0.5 maybe. Alright, and we'll move. Oops. I just undid that. 0.5, 0.5, enter. And then come back over here. Let's scale. Oh, that must be scaling these up automatically. Well, that's interesting. So let's try setting the scale here. And we'll scoop this over. Use the arrow keys to move it around since it's being stubborn. There we go. So yeah, let's try that, and then we'll just call this the coin upgrade, or coin collectible. We'll just go with coin. And this one will be, we'll call it inventory. I think that'll be okay. Alright, so we may modify this in the future, but this will be fine for this. So let's see. So we need to go to player. That's why I hid the hearts by default. I didn't want them showing here, but I think that's okay. We'll see if it becomes a problem. On the script up here, we could store this in an array. Yeah, let's do that. So let's have an inventory, and we'll just make it an empty array. Okay? So that's how you make an array, is with the square brackets. And if you want to put things in there, you know, I could have like a coin in the array, and I could have, you know, say a torch Could be another upgrade, right? But we're going to start him out as empty, and we're going to add things to it. So he's got nothing by default, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say, let's see, where is my, okay. So I'm going to actually do the same thing as I did before. I'm going to use the get tree and do the group call. So I'm going to call the group, and I'm going to say player group add item, and I'm going to pass the item that I want to add, and that's going to be the coin. Alright, so that's very similar to what we did before. I'm just hard coding, player add item function, and then I'm just hard coding the coin name. So let's go back to the player and we'll add that function. So we've got the teleport to, let's do func add item item to add, and here we'll do inventory dot add append item to add. Alright, and so this will put the item in the inventory, but we're not actually displaying that yet. So I need a way to tell the HUD to show the coin or not. So I've already got some stuff here to update the hearts. I've got it ready, but I don't have anything. Need a way to tell this HUD to communicate between the HUD and the player. It's a little bit unfortunate that I put the HUD in its own script here, because it's kind of detached from the player. So let's see, I guess the easiest way would be to just have a function called show coin, or here, let's try this, update inventory, and I'm going to pass in the inventory. Okay, so we'll just pass on that for a second and go back over to here, and then right here we'll say HUD canvas layer dot update inventory. There's that function I just made right there, and we'll pass in inventory, and that'll pass this inventory that's the player's into this update inventory that's on the HUD canvas layer here, and we'll get it right here. So now it'll have a list of all the things that I want to show. So let's see, my inventory currently has, or will have, the coin in it. So what I want to do is for each, I don't have a for each in this one. I go for item in inventory. Okay, so this loop will go over each item that's in the inventory. If there's none, there won't be anything here. And then I can say if, so I'm just going to have a list of these things. So I'm going to say if item equals coin, then let's show that coin. So let's see, coin inventory.coin.show, and then I'm going to say else. Actually, let's move this up onto one line so that it'll be a little bit more condensed. Else hide. Alright, so what I could do here is for each type of item I just duplicate those two lines and then change the icon that it's going to show or hide and change the item name. So that should work. The other thing I might want to do is here, let's see, in the player ready, I may want to update that. So here I'm updating the health. I might also want to update the inventory by doing HUD canvas layer update inventory. Alright, and so let's give that a shot. Wait, did I add the treasure chest? Yeah, I did. Alright, so this should work. Let's try it. Now I realized one thing we may end up at. Oh, I'm already showing the coin, so that's not a good thing. Why am I showing the coin already? It should have come through here and done this. Let's print right here. I'm going to print item. Just see if that's getting run. So it's not. We probably should remove this stuff. But that code is not being run, so that means we're not hiding it's interesting. So we're not calling this hide here. We're not even getting. Oh, we're not getting. Oh, that's why. Yeah. This is not what I wanted to do. Let's see. What I really want to do is just hide everything and then show it if it's in the inventory. Yeah, my bad. Alright, so easy peasy. We just copy this right here. This is probably not very efficient because each time this update is called, we'll be triggering a hide on everything and then conditionally showing them. But hopefully we'll only be calling this if there's an update. A change to their inventory, so it shouldn't happen very often. There we go. So now our coin isn't showing. And if I run over here, now something I realized is this is going to take kind of a while for testing purposes to do. Oh, there we've got a problem. I can't even get up there. Alright, so let's go modify my level real quick. Matter of fact, for testing purposes and our sanity, let's move the player over here. So grab him, just scoot his little tail. Whoa, not what I wanted to do. Let's lock that. Move our little player right there next to the coin. Anyways, what we may want to do is implement a save system so that we don't have to keep redoing all these actions over again. So there, my coin works properly. I hit up and I get the coin. Now the one thing that did not work is I need to make the treasure chest go away or become empty. I don't know if I have a. Let's see if we can find that. Yeah, there's a treasure chest, but there's not an empty treasure chest. I could make it empty. Let's make an empty version. That's kind of tempting. The other option is just to delete the treasure chest altogether. Let's make it empty. Alright? Because I think that's the more appropriate, proper way to do this. So let's open this folder so I can go show in File Manager. I'll open this folder and then let's go to the, I keep scrolling past it. Let's go to the icon and let's edit. I think this will bring it up in Paint. I think that's okay. So I'm going to control scroll to zoom in, or I can use this button, right? Now I'm going to file save as before I go and mess this up. And of course it didn't preserve my folders, so let's go to dev, Godot, projects, adventure world, art, and this was the other folder, so other, there's my current one, so there's that, and let's call it empty, and any transparency will be lost. Cancel file. So is this one not preserving? Yeah, okay, I'm getting a little nervous about that. Let's go and open it with Krita. So this will take a second to load. I was getting nervous that Paint wasn't going to properly preserve my alpha for the background, and then we'd have like a white border, which would look really ugly. Let's see, so close that. I think credit is open now. What I'm going to do is just drag that in here, and that should open it for me. Then what I'm going to do is File, Save As, and thankfully this one preserved the file name. And I'm just going to add _empty like that, and it's going to be fine. Alright, so now I can go ahead and modify this. So what I want to do is I'm going to sample, using the eyedropper, I'm going to sample right there in the wood, and then I'm just going to grab the paintbrush, and this is way too big of a brush. I'm going to end up, there we go, I'm just scaling my brush size down, and I'm going to kind of carefully go in there, because, yeah, I have a little yellow left over, but I think that's okay. Oh, not too much. Oh, I just hit the undo button and wiped out my changes right there. Alright, so let's go a little bit more carefully in there. I'm doing this with the mouse. I do have a pen tablet, which is really great for working with undo. Which is really great for working with paint programs like this, but just for brevity's sake, there we go. There we go. Alright, perfect. And then down here, too much. There we go. Alright, so that's pretty good. Let's sample this right here and kind of undo a little bit of that I just did. Oh. Make my brush size smaller. As you can tell, art is definitely the hard part for me, and I apologize for not doing more of the art on screen for you guys. Mostly I've been trying to use the Kenny's assets to kind of speed things along. Oh, man, there went. Kind of speed things along. Alright, so I think that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and save that. Control S, save, close, close. Alright, so here, let's see, so we're going back into the treasure chest, and I've got the sprite here, and I could convert this into an animated sprite, or I could add a second sprite. So either way, I could do the animated sprite like what I did for the player and set up animation frames here, that. But I think in this case, since there's just really the two situations, I think we'll just do sprite empty sprite and full sprite right there. And then the texture, we'll change it to this empty one that I just made. See there, it's empty. And then what we'll do is we'll hide this one by default, showing the full one. And then here, let's make a var is full equals true, so it's true, full of treasure at the beginning. And then if this happens, let's make the is full equals false, so it no longer has treasure, which also means that I can do and is full is true. So now I have three conditions that have to be met in order for this to happen, and the reason for this is we wouldn't want the player to go and spend his coin and then be able to come back and get treasure, even though it may not look like it's full. He would still be able to grab more treasure. So we're going to do that is full, and the other thing I want to do is show the empty sprite. So empty. Oh, I got to do my $sign. Show, and then the regular sprite. So we'll call this the full sprite. All right, that way it makes more sense here. Full sprite.hide. Alright, so that would have been one line if we'd had the animated sprite here, and I would have only had one node there, but it would have taken a little bit more setup. So there we go. So let's try that. So let's stop, restart, new game, and this time I'm going to run up here, and this time I'm going to hit up, and there my treasure chest empties, and now I have the gold up here. Now another thing I could do is I could hide this, because this kind of indicates that maybe I'm supposed to press up or whatever and get another action out of it. And really that's not not the case. So what I can do here is then hide the pop-up indicator when they get the action, and then down here I only want to show this if it's the player and is full equals true. And the exited doesn't matter because all we'll do is end up hiding that. So here I'm going to hit up, get the treasure, my indicator goes away if I walk out, no errors. If I walk back in, no errors, and it doesn't show. So great. So now I have a nice functioning treasure chest, and I'm able to acquire the coin. So next let's go and add the merchant. So I'm not gonna probably on this video, because I think but this video is getting kind of long. Let's go see back to my level. Probably won't go ahead and do the merchant, but let's go ahead and jump into him. And let's see. So I don't know if I have any other adventurers here. Yeah, I probably need to go track down another character to put in there for the merchant. So why don't I do that, and next video we'll implement being able to buy the torch. And I may or may not get the effect of light on the torch yet, because I think that's going to take a little bit of research on my part, but I think will be pretty neat when we get there. So see you next time.